Yo, morning everybody. Start this great day over here. Hope y'all are doing well, staying warm. I know I'm trying to. Alright, so today, quick one about hold on. They've hi to the neighbor kid, he's waiting for the bus stop. A quick one about energy and a new way to think about it, or at least a new way I think about it. And this isn't really new in terms of like I just thought about it, but new in terms of my life, you know, over the last couple of years. So basically what happened was when I started the program, the healing program, like one of the things you're supposed to do is like take it real easy, rest a whole lot, and let your body recoup. But what happens is when you do that, you take away every single stimulant that you had that was keeping you going. So you're already burned out. You probably have adrenal burnout. You know, you're running on fumes, but you're always looking for caffeine or loud music, or maybe you really like to get angry at work, or all these other kind of things that kind of keep you running, right? And then when you make this decision that I'm not going to use that anymore, I'm going to calm down, rest, and like take it easy. Well, then the reality sets in that you're tired. You're so tired, you didn't even know it, right? And it's kind of a crisis of sorts. I mean, I remember when it happened to me, I was literally like freaking out. I was like, what is going on with my body? I can't do anything anymore. I can't use it anymore. It's like it can't do what it used to do. I can't do what I used to do mentally. I mean, it was bad, right? And it was just because I slowed down, removed all stimulants, and then like the kind of uncovered the surface that, man, I'm tired. My body's messed up. So, you know, you kind of freak out or whatever, right? But then, you know, over time, you slowly start, you know, resting more and taking care of yourself more and healing yourself more, and you start to get a little bit of it back, and eventually you start to make good strides, and you're functional, you know, not perfect. I wouldn't say, I still got ways to go, but, you know, at least I can do some things I couldn't do before. Some of the things I remember are just like being around people for an extended period of time, right? It sounds silly, but that can drain you, right? Or being on the phone for an extended period of time. Sounds silly, but that can also drain you, right? And, you know, people don't really, I think people understand this, but they don't really give it the attention it deserves, right? Like, people are like always maybe calling you or texting you or messaging you or reaching out to you or and like, they're like, oh, it's no big deal, just do this, just do this, just do this. But you talk to any other person, everybody's gonna say, well, that makes me tired, you know, because it's a little bit of a pull here, a little bit of a pull here. It might not be a physical pull, it might just be like a little bit of an energetic pull or something like that, but it's real, you know what I mean? It can wear you out, just all this communication and interaction with people, you know what I mean? Even just, I mean, you've heard the expression, just being around somebody is quote, quote, draining, you know, so it's a thing. And people, you know, it's like one of those funny things, people like acknowledge it, but they don't acknowledge it at the same time. So what am I saying? So one of the good things about losing all my energy and like literally just working with like a couple pennies in the bank was that I learned how to respect energy a whole lot. You know what I mean? You can probably equate this to somebody who was like really wealthy and then they became really poor and then they relearned the value of money. Well, I think that happened to me. I had a lot of energy, then I had no energy, and now I'm getting it back and I'm relearning the value of energy. You know what I mean? And how it's like a bank account, deposits and withdrawals, you know what I mean? And just like that analogy I used yesterday with compound interest, you know, the more you're depositing, the less you're withdrawing, the more over time it's gonna be worth. So, you know, there's just this value that I see now in really kind of protecting and holding my energy, you know what I mean? And it might make you seem less social or less interactive with people or a little more guarded at times, and you know, you kind of want to be the people pleaser that you are and kind of be there for everybody and always be up in front and center that you can. But the reality is, like, that's going to take a toll on you, and you're going to have to pay that. You're going to have to pay that off at some point in time, right? So so what I'm trying to say is that, you know, when these new things come up and like you're saying no, I'm not going to go do that. No, I'd rather not. Maybe you go home early or whatever it may be. You might feel bad at first, but the reality is, I think you're just learning this lesson that you're respecting your energy, and that there's a lot of people who don't nowadays, and you can see it just in their well-being and overallness. So, and it's not the norm. It's not the norm to respect your energy. It's more like, oh, that person sucks, he didn't come or whatever. So I'm kind of rambling, and it's not really formulating a really good thought here, but I guess to sum it all up, energy is kind of like a bank account. You can deposit and withdraw from it, right? And just like spending money, you can be a penny pincher, and you can save, and you can turn that money into a lot of wealth in the future and do a lot of good with it, you know what I mean? Or you can, you know, live in the moment and drew it out, but then, you know, when the time comes, when you're ready to make that big move, you actually physically can't because you didn't do enough saving up front for something like that. And, you know, maybe that's a good thing depending on what kind of life you're living, but I think most people would rather, just like with money, they'd rather be in abundance and wealth, you know? So anyway, take that to the bank. So, and hope y'all have a good day. That wasn't as organized as I thought it would be, but whatever. It's a vlog, okay? It's real. This is real.